Hey everyone, so we're going to continue on with these practice problems. So we're going to end up doing number 31 right now. So if you want, just pause the video, work on the problem, and then resume after you're finished with it. So number 31, it says, you were told to make 52 portions of gravy and the recipe calls for 3 gallons and 2 quarts of water. How much water do you need? So it's going to end up being a mixed unit problem. So first thing you want to do is get this mixed unit into a single unit before you start. So you got your 3 gallons and 2 quarts. So again, we're trying to convert this 2 quarts into gallons. So when we're going back up, you have to divide. So we're at quarts and we want to get to gallons. So what you want to do is divide your 2 quarts by the 4 quarts in order to convert it into gallons. So 2 divided by your 4 quarts, that's going to equal 0.5 gallons. So now that's a single unit, the same unit, we have to add these two together. So now you got 3.5 gallons. So that's our first part to this problem. So next, we have to find our working factor. So you got your 3.5 gallons, and then we're going to multiply it by a working factor. So the problem says you are told to make 52 portions of gravy. So that's our portions to prepare. 52. So to find our working factor, we have to divide our portions to prepare, which is 52 by 100 to get your working factor, which ends up being 0.52. So then you multiply your working factor by your ingredient, which is 3.5 gallons. And that's when you start your whole problem. So 3.5 times 0.52 equals 1.82 gallons. But we can't leave it like that because of that decimal. We have to make it to its simplest form. So in this case, when it comes to the measurements, it's tablespoons. So the first thing you want to do is block off your whole number. And then multiply the remaining decimal by the whatever unit is under it. So in this case, we're at gallons and we want to multiply it by 4 quarts. So 0.82 times 4 quarts. So 0.82 times 4. So that equals 3.28 quarts. So again, block off your whole number and multiply the remaining decimal by the unit that's under it. So in this case, pints, 2 pints. So 0.28 times 2 pints. Again, don't forget to label every single thing. So 0.28 times 2, that equals 0.56 pints. So there's no whole number, so we're going to continue going down. So pints, we have to multiply by the unit under, so 2 cups. So 0.56 times 2 cups. So that equals 1.12 cups. Again, block off your whole number and multiply the remaining decimal by the unit under. So in this case is 16 tablespoons. So 0.12 times 16 tablespoons. So you got 1.92 tablespoons. So we're almost there. We're almost at the lowest unit, so teaspoons. So after that, again, block off your whole number and multiply the remainder by the unit under. In this case, it's your 3 teaspoons. So 0.92 times your 3 teaspoon. So 2.76 teaspoons. So now that we're at our lowest unit, teaspoons, we can't go any more down. So that's when we go to our decimal to fraction chart to determine where this decimal falls in between. So 0.76 falls in between this one right here. So it ends up being 3/4. So again, don't forget, block off your whole numbers. So 0.76 is the same thing as 3/4 teaspoon. So after that, now you add all these numbers together, the ones you blocked off. So your final answer ends up being 1 gallon, 3 quarts, 0 pints, 1 cup, 1 tablespoon, and 2 3/4 teaspoon. So this is your final answer. So it's pretty much saying you need this much water in order to make your 52 portions of the gravy.